I'm genuinely excited to share with you an innovative approach that's making storytelling more accessible than ever before. With the power of ChatGPT-generated images, you can now create engaging animated stories without needing tons of complicated work or expensive tools. You see, storytelling is one of the most powerful ways to connect with others. But let's be honest, it can sometimes feel intimidating, especially if you don't know where to start. That's exactly why I'm here, to show you an easy, stress-free way to bring your stories to life. Today, I'll walk you through how I lip-sync my animated characters, something that many animators struggle with these days, especially when everything seems to come with a price tag. But guess what? I'm going to show you how you can get your character to lip-sync for free. The days of struggling to generate consistent characters the hard way are long gone. Thanks to ChatGPT, I'll be showing you how to make this process easy, fun, and accessible. Stick with me, because I'll also be sharing how you can access my special prompts and even get the entire GPT setup for free. I'm pretty sure this will take a huge load off your shoulders. No more stressing and cracking your head trying to come up with something unique from scratch. While it might not be industry-level professional at first, trust me, it's a fantastic place to start, experiment, and build your skills. The process we'll go through today is simple and broken down into clear steps. First, I'll show you how I generate my script. Then, how I create my voiceover. After that, how I generate images, followed by animating those images, then lip-syncing the characters, and finally, how we pull it all together to create a complete, engaging animated video. Exciting, right? Let's dive into the very first step, generating our script. First and foremost, we need to head over to ChatGPT. On the left-hand sidebar, you'll find the option that says Explore GPTs. You can either click on it directly or simply right-click and open it in a new tab, whichever you prefer. But wait a minute, here's a short video I created using the exact process I'm about to walk you through.
John had always been fascinated by the way things worked, but today, he wanted to make something no one had ever seen. That's when it hit him. What if he could build a light that never burned out?
I know I'm close. I just need one more try.
For hours, he tested every combination of wire, filament, and glass he could find. John didn't give up. He kept searching until finally he found the formula and he invented the light bulb.
It might seem a bit difficult, but if it's very easy, just follow me as I show you how I created the video. So let's continue from where we stopped. Once you're there, go to the search bar and type Animation Script Builder. This incredible tool is a creation by Emmanuel Crown, someone I deeply respect in the AI creative space. He's been doing amazing work in making AI tools accessible, and if you want to learn more about him, I highly recommend checking him out on YouTube. So let's head over to ChatGPT. Over here, we can now begin giving this GPT some prompts so it can generate a script for our animation. To start with, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write a 3D animation script about a boy who invented a light bulb. All you need to do is type your prompt and then click the Generate button. But since I've already done that earlier, I'll just take you straight to the result. Here is the prompt I gave, and as you can see, within just a short moment, ChatGPT was able to generate an entire write-up for us. It's really impressive. It begins with character creation, and right here, it's smart enough to ask us some important follow-up questions to make the story even better. Questions like, how many characters are in the story? Describe the main character. What's the character's name? What's their age? How do they look? Hairstyle, clothes, any unique features. It also asks about personality traits, like whether the character is shy, curious, energetic, or something else, just to mention a few examples. Then it asks if you have any other characters you would like to include. Next, it moves on to number 4, which is the preferred animation style. Although we already told it to generate a 3D animation, it still thoughtfully checks with us, offering options to make sure it gets it just right. That's one thing I really appreciate. It doesn't just assume, it double checks to give us the best outcome. It goes on to explain that once it gets all the necessary details, it will proceed to generate character image prompts for us, and then dive into the animated script itself, scene by scene, breaking it down into shots with detailed visual and animation prompts. At this point, you can see that ChatGPT clearly understood what we wanted. To help it along and save time, I provided my own answer. I simply said just one, because for this animation project, I only need one character. Now, instead of filling in all the detailed descriptions manually, since I already had an AI-generated avatar image that I wanted to use, I uploaded that image directly. And as you can see, I instructed ChatGPT by saying, use this image for the 3D animation by converting it to a 3D animation style. His name is John, and he is 18 years old. That way, it had everything it needed to customize the character perfectly. Right after that, ChatGPT processed the image and generated a full character description for me. It named him John and provided all the extra descriptive details neatly laid out. And finally, it generated the character prompt for me, which I could easily copy and use in any other AI tool I like. Whether I choose to use it elsewhere or stick with ChatGPT, the flexibility is really helpful. Next, it asked if it should go ahead and generate the image. I responded, yes, go ahead, but I requested the aspect ratio to be in 3.2 format. Of course, we all know that for YouTube, the ideal aspect ratio is 16.9. However, because this particular GPT currently doesn't support 16.9 directly, the 3.2 format is the next best thing and works quite well. As you can see, it used the latest version of ChatGPT, which is the GPT 4.0 image generation model. Let me just open the result for you. The image looks really unique and impressive. It's basically a perfect 3D replica of my AI avatar, rendered in a very polished style. After completing the character generation, I gave it another prompt and said, "This is great. You can go ahead and generate the script." Right away, it started by creating a full script, beginning with the title, John and the Light of Invention. It breaks the story down clearly into scenes. For example, in Scene 1, it's titled The Spark of an Idea. Within Scene 1, there's a shot 1 that narrates the beginning of the story, followed by a shot description that visually explains what's happening. It's really amazing how organized and detailed it all is. And that's not all. Along with the scene and shot descriptions, ChatGPT also provides a text-to-image prompt. This prompt can be copied and pasted into any other text-to-image AI tool if you want to create visual scenes outside of ChatGPT. Plus, it even generates an image-to-video prompt, which can be used in AI video generation tools to turn the images into short animations. Everything you need, from scene ideas to visual cues to animation prompts, is neatly packaged in one place. You don't have to sit there struggling to invent shot lists, visual descriptions, or figure out how to format prompts for other AI tools. It's all ready to go. And that's really the beauty of this GPT. It doesn't just help you write stories, it makes the entire animation process easier, faster, and much more beginner-friendly. You also have the second shot over here, and then we move into Scene 2, which is titled Trial and Error. Inside Scene 2, you'll find shot 3, and the structure is quite similar to what we had in the first scene. This pattern continues beautifully all the way to the last scene, which happens to be Scene 4, titled A Light to Share. I have to say, I really appreciate the structure, the flow, and the detailed descriptions that ChatGPT generated for us. It's so neatly organized, and it really makes storytelling a lot more fun and manageable. Now, since that was the final scene, it's time to keep things moving. The next step we're diving into is image generation. In order to generate the images, all I did was give the instruction, go ahead and generate the images for Scene 1 in a 3.2 aspect ratio, making use of the text-to-image prompt that ChatGPT had already provided for us earlier. Just to remind you, if you ever want to use these prompts somewhere else, maybe in another AI tool, you can simply copy the text-to-image prompt. But since I'm working inside ChatGPT itself for this project, I didn't even need to copy anything. The system is smart enough to understand that once you ask it to generate an image for a particular scene, it knows exactly which prompt to pull from the data it already generated, and then create the right image based on that scene. Now, take a look here. This is the first image it created. It's John's scientific room, where he's busy experimenting and trying to figure out how to invent the light bulb. You can even see that it included images and names of some famous scientists on the walls, which really brings the scene to life. After that, I asked it to generate the image for Scene 1, Shot 2, and again, it did an amazing job. I'm really impressed with how well it captured the look and feel of my avatar, the colors, the style. It's a really close match. What's great about this is that you no longer have to rack your brain or stress too much trying to keep image consistency throughout your animation. Although in some cases, you might notice a slight difference in the generated images. If that happens, no worries at all. You can simply re-upload the image you want the AI to replicate, and it will adjust and recreate it perfectly well for you. Along the way, I decided to add a few more things. Usually, when you are creating a story, sometimes the AI may not fully capture every tiny detail of the scene you have in mind. That's completely normal. What you'll need to do is simply go a step further, review your script carefully, and then generate additional images to match the moments described in your story. That's exactly what I did here. I thought about how the scenes needed a little extra visual support, so I gave ChatGPT a few more prompts to create additional images. And the good thing is, you don't need to worry at all. I'll be putting all the prompts I used right into the video description so you can have them as a guide. This way, the whole process becomes even simpler for you. After giving another prompt, it generated this next image for me. John still sitting in the dark, determined and focused, trying to figure out a way to invent the light bulb. I really love the mood it captured. It shows the struggle and persistence so clearly. Next, we moved into generating the image for scene 2, and at this point, we were focusing on shot 3. The AI created another fantastic image representing John's sleepless nights, working tirelessly, and the result really looked amazing. Then, we progressed to the spotlight moment, the point where John finally discovers the breakthrough idea to generate the light bulb. And again, you can see the image looks so good, capturing that moment of inspiration and excitement on his face. You can also choose to copy the entire portion of a scene and paste it into ChatGPT again, if you want it to generate an image directly from the scene's details. That works too, and gives you additional flexibility when building out your story. Following that, I gave it another prompt for the next part of the story, and it generated yet another beautiful image. This time, John was amazed, wide-eyed, staring at his new invention, and the visual storytelling came through so perfectly. From there, it was easy to keep generating more images. Each one aligned beautifully with the narrative flow. So really, all you have to do is follow the prompts carefully, and you'll be able to generate good-looking, high-quality images for your animation in just a few minutes. And that's how, without too much stress, you can build out the visual side of your animated story with ChatGPT. Pretty cool, right? So over here, except this time, he should also be wearing a cap. Now, the image it generated was good, but personally, I preferred a version where John would be looking directly at the book, more focused on his research. So, I gave another prompt, asking it to generate the same scene. But this time, I specified that the environment should be darker, the lamp should be focused on the book, and John should appear deeply engrossed, flipping through the pages. After waiting just a short moment, the AI generated 2 different images for me to choose from. Looking at both images carefully, I think the one on the left is a better fit for the story, so I selected that one to move forward with. Having completed scene 1, the next step was to move on to scene 2. Here, I needed the images for both scene 2 and scene 3, particularly focusing on shot 4. To make the process faster, I copied the next part of the scene, which happened to include shot 5 and shot 6, and pasted it directly into ChatGPT, asking it to generate the corresponding images for both shots respectively. And here you have it. The AI is generating the images beautifully. Finally, after a little patience, we reached the last image. This scene shows John successfully inventing the light bulb. It's such a powerful moment, and it really ties the whole story together beautifully. Now, keep in mind that sometimes it may take a little back and forth to get exactly the images you want. If your initial prompts don't generate the perfect result, don't worry, you can always upload an example image that you want ChatGPT to replicate. This way, you'll maintain consistency in your character's look across all the different scenes. But overall, I have to say, so far, so good. ChatGPT has been able to generate these images really well, and they fit nicely into the flow of the story. And don't worry, I'm going to be sharing the link to this entire ChatGPT workflow with you, so you'll have first-hand access to the full set of prompts I used. This will act as a helpful guide as you work on generating your own projects. It may not be absolutely professional at the highest level yet, but trust me, it's an amazing starting point that will make the whole process way easier and more enjoyable for you. The link will be in the description, so feel free to make full use of it and have fun creating. So the next step would be to generate our voiceover, and honestly, it's a very simple process. There are several tools you could use for this. One of the best options out there is 11 Labs, which is highly regarded for realistic AI voice generation. You could also use Clipchamp, which is a free tool that's super beginner-friendly. Another great option is DupDub, which offers solid quality as well. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using an AI tool called DupDub AI, and I'll show you exactly how I do it. I'll start by clicking on the AI voiceover feature, but before we dive into using the AI tool, we first need to go back to ChatGPT. You'll remember that for each scene we generated earlier, ChatGPT provided a narration. As you can see here, each scene has its own dedicated narration text. So what I'll do is start by copying the narration for the first scene. Then I'll move over to the next shot, and I'll copy the narration for that one as well. I'll continue doing this for the entire set of scenes, one after the other, until I have all the narrations copied and ready. Once that's done, I'll head back over to the AI text-to-speech tool I'm using, in this case, DupDub, and paste all the narration text into the input field. Now, inside DupDub, you have the option to select an avatar by simply clicking on the avatar icon. There are several types of voiceovers you can choose from, depending on the kind of feel you want for your animation. For narrations like ours, I would recommend choosing voices suited for animation videos or maybe historical stories. But since we're doing an animation, I'll stick with the animation video voices. At this point, you can test and listen to the different voices available. If you like, you can also adjust the speed and pitch of the voice to match the tone you're aiming for. When you're satisfied, simply click Generate, and the tool will create the voiceover for you. Now there's something very important to note. In the story we created, you'll notice there are parts where John himself speaks. Let's take a look. For example, over here in the story it says, "I know I'm close, I just need one more try." This is John's dialogue, so we'll want to treat it a little differently. I'll copy this part separately because it needs to sound like it's coming from John himself, not the narrator. I believe there's another dialogue line as well, right here where it says, "I did it." I'll copy that one too. So now I have the narrator's text and John's dialogue separately. What I'll do next is paste John's lines into the AI tool again, but this time, I'll specifically look for a voice that sounds like a young boy or a teenager, something that matches John's character. I'll browse through the available voices, testing a few options until I find one that fits. Once I find a voice that sounds youthful enough, I'll slightly increase the pitch to make it sound even more like a teenager's excitement and energy. When I'm happy with the voice and the settings, I'll click on Export, select the MP3 format, and then export the files. At the end of this process, we'll now have two sets of voiceovers. One, the overall narration for the story, and two, the dialogue voiceovers for John's speaking parts. And that's exactly how you can quickly and easily generate your voiceovers for your animated story without stress. And now that we're through with that particular step, it's time to move on to animating our images. To do this, I like to use Minimax AI, which is honestly one of the best tools I've worked with for animating images. It's very simple to use, guys. All you need to do is head over to Minimax AI, which is also sometimes called Hailuo AI. Don't worry, I'll be dropping the link in the description below so you can easily access it. Once you're on the Minimax AI website, you'll want to click the Create Video option located on the left-hand side. After clicking it, you'll see several options available, but for our purpose, we're going to stick with the Image to Video option. I'm just going to click on this, and then I'll upload one of the images we generated earlier. Let's say I choose this one for now. After uploading the image, you'll notice there's a place where you can paste a video prompt. Now, remember that earlier, ChatGPT generated an image to video prompt for us, along with the scenes and images. So what I'll do next is head back to where that prompt is, simply copy it, and then come back here and paste it into the provided space. After pasting the prompt, you'll see different rendering model options available. I'll be choosing the 12v01 Live option for this example. There are several other options too, but 12v01 Live usually gives a very smooth and natural animation. Once everything is set up, all I have to do is click the Create button. Sometimes, to get the best results, I might create two different animations from the same image and prompt, and then choose the one that looks better. It's a quick trick to make sure you always pick the highest quality output. When the generation is complete, you can preview both videos, select the best one, and then simply download it. And just like that, you've animated your image into a video using Minimax AI. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the next step I'm going to show you is how to lip sync your videos or characters. To do that, we'll be heading over to another amazing AI tool called Pixverse AI. Once you're on the platform, look towards the bottom section. You'll see an icon that allows you to upload an image. Go ahead and click on that icon, and then navigate to the folder where your images are stored. I'm going to select this one for now. After selecting the image, you'll see a text box where you can type a brief description. For this scene, I'll type, "John is flipping through the book in front of him." Then, I'll click the Create button. In just a few moments, the AI will process it and generate a short video for us based on that image and description. Now that the video is ready, the next step is to add voice or speech to the animation. You'll find the speech option on the right-hand corner of the interface. Click on it, and then look just below the image. There will be a small icon that allows you to upload your audio. Click on that, then go ahead and upload the voiceover you generated earlier. Once the audio is uploaded, simply click on the Create button again, and give it a few moments. The AI will automatically lip sync the voiceover to your character, matching the mouth movements to the speech. Let's play it back.
I know I'm close, I just need one more try.
And as you can see, this is really amazing. We've now successfully generated our lip-synced AI character. Once you're satisfied with the result, you can go ahead and click Download to save your final video. Now, depending on the flow of your story, you can keep repeating this process to generate as many lip-synced video scenes as you need. But for now, I'm going to stop here so we can move on to the final stage. The last thing we need to do is to head over to our video editing tool so we can edit everything together and give it that polished, cinematic feel. For this, I'll be using the CapCut app, which is one of the best free editing tools available. It's beginner-friendly and powerful enough to help you arrange your scenes, add transitions, insert background music, sound effects, and more. Alright, so I already have all my files uploaded into CapCut, and now it's time to put everything together. The first thing I'm going to do is drag the voiceover, that is, the story narration, onto the timeline. Once that's in place, I'll go ahead and increase the volume so the voice is nice and clear. Then, I'll play it back to listen through and make sure everything is in sync with the flow of the story. After listening and confirming the narration, the next step is to arrange the videos according to what the voiceover is saying. I'll place each video clip in the right order, making sure they line up perfectly with the narration for smooth storytelling. Once that's done, I'll move on to adding transitions between the video clips. To do that, just head over to the transition option at the top left corner of the CapCut interface. From there, I'll select a smooth transition I like, and then click Apply to All, so the transition effect is added to all the clips at once. Next, it's time to bring in the background music. Now, when it comes to background sound, there are a couple of great options. You can use Sono AI, which I personally recommend, or you can try Pixabay. But to be honest, I don't really recommend Pixabay for music, because a lot of their tracks come with copyright issues. Sono AI is much better for this. They usually give you free credits daily, and it's also affordable. If you can, I suggest you pay the $10 subscription so you can download as many tracks as you want without limitations. I already have a few background tracks downloaded, so I'm going to listen through them to pick the one that best fits the mood of the video. Once I find the right one, I'll drag it to the timeline, placing it below the voiceover track, and then lower the background music volume just a bit so that the voiceover remains crisp and audible. Now the final step is to generate text captions for the voiceover. This really helps improve engagement and accessibility. To do that, just head over to the auto caption feature in CapCut. Click on Generate, and the app will automatically transcribe and sync the captions to your voiceover. If you'd like to style your captions or change the way the text looks, just go to the top right corner, click on Templates, and you'll see a variety of text designs to choose from. I usually prefer the clean white subtitle styles. They look great and are easy to read. Once everything is in place and you're happy with the edit, the last step is to export your video. Just click on the Export button, make sure your settings are on 4K resolution for the best quality, and then hit Export. And that's it, guys. I really hope you found this tutorial helpful and that you're now inspired to go ahead and create your own animated videos using these tools. It's fun, it's creative, and it's something you can absolutely do. Good luck with your animation journey, and I can't wait to see what you create. See you in my next video. Bye for now.